Hi everyone, so welcome back to our crazy vida. I haven't vlogged in like 2 weeks, so we wanted to give you an update with the house and the VA loan, because I've been getting questions on if it's like an easy process or how do you go about getting that started. So I invited Christopher to the vlog because this will be his second time he's used the VA loan. So first of all, we hit a snag in our process. We were supposed to close tomorrow on August 23rd, 2013, but because I am missing paperwork from my previous divorce, we kind of hit a snag. So hopefully that paperwork will be here pretty soon so we can close at least by next week. Otherwise, we will probably be homeless.
You don't have to pay anything out of pocket. That's the great thing about a VA loan. You actually go through the same process of buying a house with FHA or with a standard loan or ARM or whatever you're going to use, but you just don't put any money down. The only thing you do have to pay for was we had to pay for the
escrow?
No. We had to pay for the inspection. You have to pay for the inspection, which for us was about $350, $400 for the inspection. They inspect the house and they have to be VA certified, because if they're not VA certified, then they don't know what to look for and what VA is looking for to actually make the loan go through. And then also, some people say you have to pay for the appraisal, but you don't. You don't have to pay for the appraisal at all. So you only have to pay like $400 and you get a house. We did have to put down escrow, which Sophia just said right now, which is like almost like a down payment to say that you're serious about the house. Now, most of the time it's like $1,000. It's like 1% of the asking price, which doesn't even equal out to like $1,000 most of the time on the houses. But for us, they wanted, what was it, $5,000? They wanted $5,000 at first. And we were like, no, that's not going to happen. We're not have $5,000 lying around. We're not like just going to give $5,000 over and not know if we're going to get it back. So we negotiated, and they agreed to our terms of $2,000. And then they weren't going to give us our entire escrow back and give us like $300 back, and we told them no. So then they had to restructure the loan. But it all worked out. We'll get back most of it because it's all about the taxes of the house, of when you buy it and when we close. So it's better to close at the end of a month. That way there's less taxes to be paid at closing. If you close on the 1st, you'll have to pay all the taxes for the entire month. So that's what was a good thing for us, closing at the end of the month. So the later we close, the less taxes we have to pay for the escrow.
To begin to purchase a home using your VA loan, you just want to contact a realtor and for them to contact a lender that deals with the VA loan. And so from there, I mean, we pretty much didn't really have to do anything but gather up paperwork and all that stuff. They do our credit report. They do all of that stuff for us. I actually thought I thought it was going to be more difficult, but I was surprised that it was pretty easy, except for now we have a little bit of a snag. But as far as everything else, we're pretty much hitting the date we wanted to move out of here and to get into a new home. So they will work with you diligently in order for you to get your home. So,
and the other biggest thing too with your credit score, like, don't be afraid to have your credit ran or think that your credit's not too low, because VA actually does about 625 is a minimum. Like it's above 600.
Yeah, above 600.
You have to have a credit score above 600 or else you won't be considered at all. So once you get your credit score above 600, both people, they have to be above 600, then VA will accept it. But anything below, you're not going to be accepted for a VA loan. So that's a big thing.
Another thing that we figured out too, because we did sign up for a loan, or we tried to get a loan last year, I think, or earlier this year, last year, and they said that I had to be employed and I had to make like $1,000 per month in order to qualify for a loan, and that was not true at all. We ended up going with a different lender, and they said, like, I'm not employed right now, and we were actually qualified for double of what they were trying to give us. So you have to watch out with especially realtors, which is kind of like nobody really tells you, but some realtors will only deal with you if you want to buy a home that's $225,000 or above. But if you're looking at a home that's like in the $100,000 to $200,000, some realtors won't even talk to you, so they'll pretty much just say you're not qualified, which is pretty sad, but that's what we ran into last year.
You know, like it's all about money. Like they all get a cut. Like the lender gets a cut, the broker, the same person, and then the realtor gets a cut. But you have to actually look for. What we found was Joel. His name was Joel, but he's an actual for buying, like a realtor for buyers only. Just remember that when you're looking for a realtor, is if they're a buyer or they're a seller, or they do both, or they say they're both, and they're very territorial too. Like we would try to go with one from another office, and she got kind of upset that we went with somebody else, but we didn't actually sign anything. And be careful too, because when you sign something,
when you sign a contract with a realtor, you're pretty much going with that realtor, and it's really hard to, I think it's like 365 days that you have to wait in order to go with another realtor. Luckily, we didn't sign a contract, and what ended up happening is the realtor was looking for homes that weren't even anything that we really wanted, and she never did a sit down with us, which isn't necessary. You don't have to sit down with your realtor, but it's always nice to be face to face with them so they know exactly what you're looking for.
The process was pretty painless. You do have to come up with like a lot of, like if you were married before, that was the big thing, is you need like your divorce decree, your legal separation, all the paperwork you had from court. And then any of the bills that are like questionable, like we had some that were questionable, but it wasn't our fault. It was for mistakes on our credit report. Sometimes you can get away with like writing like a letter, just stating what happened and how it is, and the underwriter has to approve it. That's what we got snagged up on, was the underwriter stopped us because it said we had 2 pages of something, and we only had 1. So technically they wanted the second page for some reason, which really they didn't need. But when they see 1 of 2 and it's only 1 of 1, or 1 page there, they just wanted the second page. So it's really silly, but we got it. It's en route, so hopefully we'll be able to close, like she said, like Sophia said, before September 2nd, or else we're going to be out of a home. But it's not that severe, because we would just put it in storage and, you know, stay at a hotel or whatever for the time being. So it's not that crazy, but we'll be able to close because it's in the mail. So hopefully it'll be here in the next couple days. We've almost packed up the entire house. Sophia is like a mad woman at packing, so she's packed up almost the entire house. I've helped out pack entire stuff, obviously except for our furniture, but everything else is pretty much packed. We're gonna have a huge garage sale this weekend, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
A moving sale.
And we're gonna get rid of all of our extra junk, and then anything we don't sell by Sunday, we're just gonna donate to, what is it, Value Village?
Value Village or Goodwill.
And get credit. And then I don't mind donating. We don't mind donating because we have so much stuff. We just want to get rid of it and move into our new house and have less clutter, even though we have more space, but we just want to
start fresh.
Yeah, and be clutter free.
Always advertise that you're looking for moving boxes and packing paper, because people PCS all the time, and either they store the boxes or they recycle them. So you may want to ask around. Maybe some of your friends might know other people that have boxes that they're willing to give you, because we've done like 4 or 5 pickups on boxes, and we're going to do a couple more here in the weekend, hopefully. But always look for those resources, and usually it's always free. So it's a good way to save money. You don't have to buy boxes from like U-Haul or anything like that.
Okay.
So we got to go because our sons are fighting upstairs, and dinner's almost ready. So if you have any questions concerning the VA loan, any specific questions that you might be having, or you're going through the process, let us know. I'm going to do a separate video on how to choose a home and tips on all of that stuff. So thank you so much for asking all your questions and for commenting on our videos, and we will be back with more. Bye.
Bye.